Okay, so here we are in part 3. In part 1 we made the ball bounce. In part 2 we added the shadow and the ground. And here's what we end up with, and it looks pretty good. Now we want to add blinking eyes and a smile. Now we can do that individually on their own layer, but it's a pain. We have to move the eyes with each frame to frame. Adobe Flash gives us a better option. We can actually add the eyes and the smile to the symbol itself. Now in order to do that, I'm going to get my selection tool. Now watch the timeline and watch up in the top left hand corner. I'm going to double click on the ball, and what will happen is that, oh, see, now it says we're in the red ball, and if you notice the timeline, all that it says is ball, and I did that ahead of time. So we can make our own animation nested inside of this symbol, which makes, this is part of what makes Adobe Flash so powerful. So, well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now that I'm inside the symbol of the ball, of the red ball, I'm going to go ahead and start making the eyes. So I'm going to zoom up here so I can see a little bit better. And I'm going to make a new layer. There you go. And I'm going to call this new layer, hey, what else? I'm going to call it eyes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the ball layer. Okay, that way I can't accidentally select it or move it or do anything to it, because I like it the way it is. So I'm going to come and I'm going to make sure that my stroke, which is the pencil, is black, and the fill, which is under the paint bucket, is white. And I'm going to grab my oval tool and I'm going to make an oval. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And it's going to fill it in with white. Awesome. Now if I were to move that oval, it actually deletes part of the ball. So I'm going to leave it there as it is. Now I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to have the fill black. I zoom in here, and I'm going to make the eye. There we are. Now we have one eye. What I want to do is I want to make this a symbol. So I'm going to grab my selection tool, draw a box around the entire thing, right click, and convert to symbol. Let's type I here and make sure it's a movie clip. Oh, I've already used that one. So I'm just going to put eyes. There we go. Click OK. Now I can hold down the Alt key and select that and just drag it over, and it will duplicate that symbol. Another way to do it is to go into my library and just drag it back out. But this is a little faster. So now I've got two eyes on the ball. Fantastic. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on scene 1, and it's going to take me back to scene 1. And as you can tell in the timeline, I have the ball, shadow, and ground. And I'm going to test it out. See, the eyes are a part of the ball now, and so they travel with the ball, which is fantastic. So I'm going to double click the ball. So I'm now editing just the ball. I want to make another new layer, and I'm going to call this one a smile. This is really, really easy to do. I'll zoom in again. I'm going to come over here to the right and get the line tool, and I'm just going to draw a line straight across. See that there? Now it doesn't look very happy. That's okay. I'm going to go to selection tool, and I'm not clicking yet, and you get that little curve next to the arrow. That means I can bend it, and I just bend the line to make it a smiley face. Isn't that awesome? Looks pretty good too. So everything is going great, but now we need to do the blinking, which is a little trickier. Now, as you can see now, I'm adding a bunch of keyframes on the eye layer. And now I'm going to have to make another new layer, and we're going to call that one blink. So there I am, new layer. Call it blink. And notice that I'm not going back to frame 1, that I'm staying on frame 10. And to make the blink, it's really easy. I'm just going to get a line and draw it straight across the eye. And then I'm going to use a selection tool and bend it so it's like kind of like a frowny face. I'm going to zoom in here so we can see that. There we go. And again, I haven't clicked yet. I just hover over it and it gives me that option to bend. If I click, I start moving the line around. You might notice that I am locking all the other layers because I want to make the blink its own symbol. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to convert it to a symbol. I'm going to call it blink, of course. Keep it as a movie clip, hit enter, and then I'm going to use the Alt key again just to duplicate it and bring it over here. There we go. But it doesn't look much like a blink. He just looks tired. He looks sleepy. But that's all right. We'll make it a blink here soon enough. As you can see, I'm adding a lot of keyframes. There we go. Probably just about as many as the eyes. And now you see this, and the blink layer, you see that big long stretch of gray? I want to double click that. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go clear frames. Check this out. And it's going to remove the blink between frames 1 and 10. Now I'm going to do that here in the eyes between 10 and the last frame, clear frames. And I think you figured out what I'm doing here. So when the blink starts, the eyes disappear. now let's take a look at it here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And when you hit enter, you're not going to be able to see it. It's just, it doesn't happen. But if I hit Control Enter or Command Enter on a Mac, then I see the whole animation. And there it is. How about that? So hope you enjoyed, and keep on watching.